Alrighty, I'm just gonna do a really, hopefully, quick or a shorter video, I guess. But this one's gonna be covering doing models for weapons and swapping those and doing things with that. First off, I will say a great place to get help is going to be the servername Discord, or you can join my Discord. That will be linked in the description, but it has some cool stuff going on in it. Like we have this this page here with community guides, people that are learning and doing stuff and have useful information to share. Are actually putting little guides and things in here for frequently asked questions. There's templates for stuff and ID lists and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, that's one place that you can find it. But with that being said, we'll get right into this. The first thing that you're going to want to do is just find a model that you want to use to swap into the game, and you'll want to find what you want to swap. I'm going to do the Lord Sworn Greatsword. That's 0607 on the parts list for Elden Ring. So I'm going to do that. So I copied that over to my kind of like project folder here that has the model and textures for what I want to replace it with. So the first thing I'm going to do here actually is I'm just going to go and use Yabber to unpack into the little DCX file here that I can actually get into, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy the little template for Flvers there. I'm going to actually go all the way in here real quick, and I'm going to delete the Flver from in there, and then I'm going to paste. Oh, I freaking brought the wrong one. I guess it didn't like what I copied, so we're gonna delete that one. Back out here, copy, and then we'll go all the way back in here, and then we'll paste that one. All right, we're good. And then we will change its name to WP A underscore 0607. And then the underscore 1 is going to be the scabbard for the big sword on your back. We're not using that, so we will actually delete that really quick. And then before we forget about it, we will actually open that up in a text editor and then get rid of that one from our little Yabber text file there. So that way we can actually repack it later, because it won't like our efforts otherwise. So we will go back out to our tutorial tab here, and we're gonna go ahead and open up this model real quick in Blender. I want to do that because that is a very large model, and I would rather scale it in Blender and then export it as an FBX than do all that inside of the Flver editor. So we're going to import object, tutorial tab there. See, it's very large. Scale it down. And then I've always found that a pretty decent scale size for weapons is maybe 1 cube is about the size of the longsword, so this is going to be a little bit bigger than that, so we'll do something like this, maybe. Sure. And then while it's still selected, we'll go to object, we'll apply the transformations to that scale there, and then we will go to file and then export as an FBX, and then put it in the tutorial tab here. It's just the deity sword version 3 and T for tutorial. Sure. Then we'll export that, and then we'll close this. So next up, what we will do is we will go back in here to the template Flver that we renamed. So it's going to be blank. And we're going to click import model, and then tutorial tab, and then we're going to grab the FBX. and we're gonna click no on all these things. And then we have a model here. Really quick, just as a note, that red line is roughly where your character's hand will be, or main hand will be when holding. So if you one hand, that's where the hand will be. So that's pretty low. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to mesh really quick, and we can select the dummy one. Go to translations, and then we'll do like 0.02 for that. With degrees, for some reason that seems to change how far things move. I don't know why, but that's just how I do it. And then we'll say that that's probably fine right there. Hand might butt into that a little bit. You can adjust it if you want to, which in fact, while we're here, I might as well. You can put a negative value and it'll go down. So sure, right there seems excellent. We'll exit that out, and we're going to modify that so that it saves our changes. Next, what we're going to do is set up textures for this. So we will go ahead and open up the existing textures right there real quick. And we're actually going to go ahead and delete those because we're not using the Lord Sword and Great Swords textures. We're going to be using the textures that came with the model. I'm just going to grab those, and I will drag those into Photoshop, which is what I use to do edits. Paint.net should also work. I use that for the longest time, and then I'm using Photoshop now because it's honestly just easier. So if you know a way to get Photoshop, cough cough, do that. So now that we're in here, we're going to adjust the normals and then save it as a DDS. The Souls games like their normals being that yellow tint by having them adjusted a little bit. So to make your blue normal, if you have one of those, the like yellowish tint that the game likes, we're just actually going to go over to our nice shiny one here, which will I'll likely save this as a grayscale for metallic. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the blue channel here. We're going to do Control A to highlight that, Control C to copy it. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to go to channels. If you can't see channels, go to window and then click channels, and then it'll pop up there. We're going to click the blue channel here because it's blank. And we're going to actually paste with Control V in there. And then now we have that more yellow tinted version there. So we can go right on ahead now and save this. It's a DDS. To save things as DDS in Photoshop, you will need the Intel TextureWorks extension. I will link that as well. So we will get to that momentarily. So I'm actually just going to click all the way back in here into the TPF here. That's blank right now. And I will save this. And then I have some presets set up here, courtesy of the homies on my Discord. I actually have a very small little guide set up for this stuff. So this is our normal and gloss. Let me pull that over here really quick just so you can see it. We're gonna go to the community tab, community guide tab. It's all the way up at the top here. Little presets set up there for you. Yog is Pog. So I copied those presets from that. So we got normal. This is our normal. We're just gonna save that. So now that should populate in the little TPF folder. So that one's done. We can close it out. This one, we are going to go right on ahead and go File, Save As for this one. We're going to go all the way back in because it's easier than moving it later. And we will save this one also as a DDS. This one is going to be our metals. So I'm actually going to do myself a favor and just do m.dds for that. So that way I remember what's what when I go to assign them. Dog bark, nice. So metal, okay. And then now that one's done, we can exit that. And then this one is going to be our albedo. So we will actually really quickly, we'll go to image, adjustments, level. And then I think I'm going to brighten it up just a little bit so that those textures pop a little bit more in the game. That seems like right there. Right there looks great. We'll do 97. No, let's do 95. That feels like a better number. 95. Right, okay. So then, with that being done there, we'll go and save it. Back in. I don't know why it defaults back out. It's probably because that's where I pulled those from. And then we will do PDS. And then that one is going to be our albedo. So we're just going to do A. And then 1, I'll just remember that's the normal. Save that. Albedo. Okay. And then that's done. So we can exit out of there. And we will zip in here to our folder, where we will go right on ahead and delete the old TPF because we don't need that. The old TPF is not going to do us any favors. So we will go right on ahead actually and get into our TPF that we just saved these into, and then open up the notepad here. I'm just doing this so that I don't have to change anything inside of the XML. I can just change these names. Just feels easier to me, changing these names rather than anything inside the XML. So, and then we got metallic right here, so we're just going to copy that, rename that, and then 1, as we know, is going to be our normals. So we will copy that, go to rename, and then we can close that. That's just for reference, so we don't need to save it because we didn't change anything in that. We'll back up, open up that Flver from a while ago at this point, and then we go to materials, and then it's only got one material, so we'll just go and edit that, browse, and then we will click our way all the way in. We got A, and then I'll click enter, just a little faster, M, enter, N, enter, okay. Click modify, modify, mesh, and double check if size looks fine. I don't think I need to adjust sizing quite yet, so I'm just gonna leave that alone, close that out, and then we will go ahead and repack that TPF now. And then what I'm going to do now is we are going to test it in game. So I'm going to back us all the way out here. I'm going to delete the normal one that we had earlier. And then I'm going to go and repack the one that we just did all the edits in. And then I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it into my parts file in my mod folder on Modengine. If you don't have Modengine set up, highly recommend that. I have a video on that. Now that has all changed, I'm actually going to launch Elden Ring here. And then I will kill the music real quick, so that way we don't have annoying things clashing. Right, I'm getting loaded up now, and then we will take a look and see how that model is looking in game here. And it's looking pretty darn good, actually. I'm pretty pleased with that. We'll put that on the back. It clips through the Havel Armor, which I also did, by the way. If you want that, that's actually on Nexus already, so you can snag it. But yeah, so there's how you get a custom weapon model in the game. And then, yeah, so hopefully that is helpful to some people. I'm going to go ahead and force quit out of this because I don't need to be in there anymore. So hopefully that was helpful for some people. I will try to make a video or see about getting a guide posted for textures a little bit more in depth for editing stuff, because if you're porting something from, say, Dark Souls 3 or anything like that, those textures tend to come out a little bit darker in Elden Ring than they are inside of Dark Souls 3. So, but brightening those up is the same process effectively as I did for brightening up the albedo texture. So, hope that helps. I will catch you guys later. Obligatory sub or like for more.